Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Prakriti and today we are going to move further with another topic of law of torts, that is negligence. Negligence, generally the word negligence denotes carelessness. In legal sense, it signifies failure to exercise standard of care which the doer as a reasonable man should have exercised in circumstances. In general, there is a legal duty to take care when it was reasonably foreseeable that failure to do so was likely to cause injury. In negligence, harm is caused by not taking adequate precautions. Negligence is carelessness. In general sense, it is not fulfillment of a legal duty when a particular thing is foreseeable that if the reasonable care is not taken, then the injury would be happen. According to Winfield, negligence is the breach of a legal duty to take care which results in damage undesired by the defendant to the plaintiff. According to the definition of Winfield, it is an undesired damage, undesired of defendant side, the damage is caused to the plaintiff. In Blythe versus Birmingham Water Works Corporation case 1856, negligence is the omission to do something which a reasonable man would do, or doing something which a prudent or reasonable man would not do. In this case, the definition of negligence is defined, which means that negligence is omission. Omission means not to do something. Omission of that thing which a reasonable man should do or should not do. In the another case of Lord Gelly Iron and Coal Limit versus Macmillan 1934, Lord Wright said that negligence means more than heedless or careless conduct, whether in commission or omission. It properly connotes the complex concept of duty, breach and damage thereby suffered by the person to whom the duty was owing. According to Mr. Lord Wright, negligence means that it is a commission or omission, doing something or not doing something which a person, it was his duty to do or not to do a certain thing due to which the another person is suffering from damage. Essentials of negligence. In an action for negligence, the plaintiff has to prove the following essentials. Firstly, duty to take care. Second, duty to whom? We should understand that a person have a duty, but to whom he has the duty is going to deal. Duty to take care. One of the essential conditions of liability for negligence is that the defendant owed a legal duty towards the plaintiff. In this essential, it is very clear that liability was of the defendant towards the plaintiff to take care. In the case of Grant versus Australian Knitting Mills Limited, 1935, the plaintiff purchased 2 sets of woolen underwear from a retailer and contracted a skin disease by wearing that underwear. The woolen underwear contained an excess of sulfate which the manufacturers negligently failed to remove while washing them. The manufacturers were held liable as they failed to perform their duty to take care. In this case, due to wearing woolen underwear, and the manufacturer negligently fails to remove the excess of sulfate from that underwear, and the person due to in contact with that underwear faces the damage. That's why the defendant was held liable for the duty to take care, and they failed to in their duty. Duty to whom? to whom we are bound to have to fulfill some care. In the case of Dog versus Stevenson, Mrs. Dog drank a bottle of ginger beer purchased for her by her friend at a cafe in Paisley. The bottle, which contains the decomposed remains of a snail, was manufactured by the defendant, Mr. Stevenson. The bottle was opaque in color and sealed, so the snail could not be detected until Mrs. Dog had already consumed a large part of the ginger beer. She claimed to suffer from shock and severe gastroenteritis as a result of the incident. The contract of sale to purchase the ginger beer was between Mrs. Dog's friend and the shop owner. There was no direct contractual relationship between Dog herself and Stevenson, the manufacturer. Mrs. Dog sued Mr. Stevenson based on the law of Negligence, which is known as the law of negligence in England and Wales. In this case, it is clear that Negligence is known as negligence in England and Wales. Negligence is a civil law tort in which one person can seek a remedy from another for injury or loss suffered due to that person not taking reasonable care or skill in performing a task. Negligence covers certain cases where there is no contract between the parties and creates a duty of care from one person or to another to reach a certain level of competence in their actions. Example, if you drive a car, you owe a duty of care to other road users to take reasonable care when driving your car. This creates a legal relationship between you and the others. It is very clear to whom our duty is by this example. If you negligently cause injury to another road user, even though you do not have a contract with them, you will be responsible. The issue was whether Stevenson owed a duty to care to Dog or not. Specifically, when Mr. Stevenson manufactured a bottle of ginger beer, stealing it in a container in such a way that it would not be possible to inspect it before drinking it, and knowing that it would be drunk by a consumer. It is very clear that that beer bottle was opaque. It was not possible for Mr. Dog to see what is inside it before drinking it. And Mr. Stevenson know that it is for sale, so consumer must consume it. Was he required by law to take reasonable care to ensure that the consumer was not inquired by the contents of the bottle? The court expanded the scope of duty, saying that the duty so raised extends to your neighbor. So, who is my neighbor? The question raised here. So, Lord Atkin answered this question. He said that the person who are closely and directly affected by my act, that I ought reasonably to have them in contemplation as being so affected when I am directing my mind to the acts or omissions which are called in questions. Who are the neighbors is answered in this question. Those are my neighbors. Neighbor is not in a general meaning that who are residing near you. No, these are the person who are so closely and directly affected by your actions. When you don't take reasonable care and they are going to be affected by your action, they are your neighbors. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. In the next video we will discuss about more about this topic of negligence. Thank you so much guys, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want more videos such like this, please subscribe to the channel and also hit the bell icon.